Dola benje sanje dobara sho sanje juda soje janjo bado dane jasum che dage chujin jebe sonam ge dola benje sanje dobara sanje juda soje chananga janjo bado dane jasum dage chujin jebe sonam ge dola benje sanje dobara sho Kange de le ni zhe da de je bang wen ni de be shu ne de ze we gu dan de la cha de lu du ni ni de sun de de we chi je ze ze gan je de de gu ja ne de de ze je de la zo wa de we shi de ban de de la ma de ma a ge ni ge de me de je ne ga de je me gu ne je dan de gu dan du je ngo de ze de zo de ren bu ji ma ji bu ne ji yo ni ba me wa ya gu ne gu de be gu la shu ya da tiring mikse 님 드저 켜봐진 거. 그 추루 저저
Okay.
다 당고 저저 추루 주지가 넘버 아버지 지진 그거 좀 추이 이거 그다음 넘버 지진 그들이 제 지금 추루 추루 추루가 추루 넘버 시기는
근데
추루 또디 힘 추루제 딱 계제제 내가 꿈에 쓰는 내가 쓰는 이제 이니 개베지 되는 내가 꿈에 쓰는 내가 쓰는 이니 이제 꿈에 쓰는 게 내가는 추루는 또 숨지는 추루제 계제 되게 여러 어제도 제일 추루 추진이제 추루 추진이 이제 제가 지금 나도 이제 최 아주 계절의 시기 중으로 깨워서
mm. So today is a very kind of auspicious day because it's the 15th day of the days of miracles. So when we talk about the miracles, ganda di shi kare di churu shi. Oh, ganda churu sum. Oh, okay, so there's miracles of body, speech, and mind, right? And of those, the miracles of the speech are said to be the most important. So for this reason, on this day, to be able to receive teachings, to listen to give and receive teachings today becomes like very auspicious or very fortunate. Quando di Pichikari so di Malama Kirab the King of Prayers? Kirab Sena?
Kirab Sena Sanjay Deva Sanjay Deva Sanjay Deva Kirab Sushiva Peje Mingo Umar Jinchon Umar
Oh, okay.
Kirab Jumdende Munju Sanjay Jumdende Kirab Sanjay Jumdende Oh,
okay, like okay. Okay, so like Jataka tales did it. Did it. Okay, so today at the Gelugpa Monlam they recite the the Jataka tales, the history of Buddha's lives. So this is very fortunate. And for us, we're looking at the words of the Buddha in terms of what he talked about in terms of Buddhist science. So we're very fortunate to have this opportunity. So we should set a motivation. So it's very important that we set a positive motivation because this determines whether the Dharma becomes positive or not, right? Our Dharma practice becomes positive or not. So the Dharma is always pure, right? Like the teachings of Buddha are pure, the teachings of Nagarjuna, Lama Tsongkhapa, Milarepa, the Gelugpa, Nyingma, Sakya, Kagyu, all of these are like pure. However, what determines the benefit for us is determined by our motivation. So this is why it's very important to set the motivation. So you should feel that going forward today, I'm going to strive with great energy to be of benefit to others. So for this reason, I'm listening to the Dharma and practicing the Dharma and so forth. So this is the pure motivation we should set. Hmm. So you should also feel now how incredibly fortunate we are to be receiving or studying this text through the unbelievable kindness of His Holiness. This has been put together, and in this world, we're one of the first to actually study this text. So in this way, we're very, very fortunate. Okay, so you can now boast to all your friends that in the whole world of people, us here in little old Nelson in New Zealand are the very first to study this text. So you can tell all your friends on your various exciting social media accounts. Can you close the lights? Yeah. So everybody's talking about how they're the first to do this and that, nonsense. So now we can boast to our friends that we're the first ones to study this text. So you should rejoice in this.
Oh yeah. Down the kissing. Nambegi that to this is soup. Shivachi, you soup to dance with the
Mm.
the number to the Union of Dagi, Chame, within Chame came to our
Mm.
Camilla to go Panama. Within Chame, Kiruna Chaje, Cabres.
Mm.
That Chaje Chame to Jim and that joy on the you Tamusabala thing, yeah, I made up much to dance, Zimbabwe,
Mm.
Zimbabwe.
So we've now looking into how form is established according to the Buddhist viewpoints, right? So there was this differentiation in the view in terms of whether or not partless particles existed. So Vasubandhu stated that partless particles did in fact exist, whereas Asanga refuted that and said there's no such things as a partless particle. But apart from that differentiation, all the Buddhist schools agree that these very subtle particles then group together to form larger particles, and then gradually, when many of them come together, form gross physical material.
That really did that. You shiver so Shejanela, share, soup the village to go down. The number to go down with Shejanela, didn't soon show fashion with the Shogun, the large Shogun. Shejanus, Shogun.
Yep, it's page 56. So yeah, we're looking at ascertaining reality with the three nature of the object. So this is how things are established. So we've looked at physical matter. Now we're looking at how things are established in terms of ascertaining. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm. So there's three ways of perceiving objects, right? Well, there's three ways of perceiving the different types of objects. So the first of these is direct perception. I mean, this is fairly obvious. It's like what we see with our eyes or pick up with directly, like a cup or a table or, so forth, right? So anything we perceive directly, that's the first mode of perception.
좋아요. 네요 시기라다. 이거 빼든게 모델 게 고다. 뭔가가 모델 보고. 모델 통구야 말아. 모델 게 고르지네 모델 시기라. 그냥 치료라. 지우게 장 지우요 하고 키게 장 지우요 하고 어디 군대는 이제 다시 해야 되나 아니 군대 보고 이제 보고
So with the three types of direct perception is how we can perceive evidently perceivable phenomena. So the second one, this is in the middle of page 56, slightly hidden phenomena is perceived through reasoning. So this is like if you see smoke, then you can ascertain that there's fire. If you hear the sound of a car, you know there's a car there. If you hear the sound of a bird, you know there's a bird there. If you hear the sound of a dog, you know there's a dog there, and so forth. So it's established through reasoning. Okay. So next one is extremely hidden phenomena is only ascertained through reliance on the words of others. So an example of something that would be like when we say the time and place of our birth, of course we don't know this like directly, right? I mean, most people don't know directly. They don't remember being born. They don't know the time and all of this. However, we rely on the people like the nurses or our parents or the doctor, whoever it might be, to provide us with that information. So we have this trust that they were there, they recorded it correctly, and therefore that's why we have this information. But we don't ascertain it on our own. Right. So this extremely hidden phenomena, an example of it would be karma, for example. So for us here now, for me to be talking, Anton to be translating, and you guys all to be listening, this comes about through many causes and conditions that were created over different lifetimes and so forth. So for us, we can't say that how all of the causes for us to be together here in this time right now came together. We don't have that perception. Only a Buddha has that perception. So for this kind of extremely hidden phenomena, we have to rely. Mm. Okay. Right. So, for example, we can say generosity produces wealth in the future. Now, that's not extremely hidden. We can infer that logically, like that makes sense. However, to say that this wealth came from this act of generosity in the past, or this act of generosity now will produce this exact result in the future, that's something that. Oh, right. Okay. So if we receive like wealth, now we can't say like what the result of that is, from which generosity we did it, which act of generosity we did at which time, and so forth. So this is an example, like to say the exact what exact cause an exact result came from. That's extremely hidden phenomena. So understanding this subtle understanding of karma is actually even more difficult than realizing emptiness. So the arts, they have a realization of emptiness, but they don't know, they can't understand karma on this level. So then we have the three types of phenomena and the three types of perception. Sorry, no, the three types of perception. So perceiving directly, perceiving slightly hidden phenomena through reasoning, like through reasoning. So we're actually able to establish this in our own, and then things like previous lives and karma and these subtle things like emptiness and subtle impermanence and all of this type of stuff. We can't perceive that this is like a extremely hidden phenomena. Oh, sorry. No. Sorry, not this. Not extremely hidden phenomena. Slightly hidden phenomena. All of those were. So emptiness. Yep. So, sorry, not extremely hidden phenomena, slightly hidden phenomena, because we can infer this through logic. So we can say because it's a product, therefore it's impermanent, and so forth. And we can infer things like emptiness through the logic of dependent origination and so forth. So this is this can be inferred logically. So this is why it's said to be slightly hidden phenomena. Right. However, things like this specific result came from this specific karma, this we cannot understand. This is extremely hidden phenomena. Right, so everything that's perceivable is perceived through these three modes. So either directly through reasoning or through inference based on the like understanding of others. You had a question? So this would this differ at all from what science uses probability? Okay, so do these three ways of perception, is this the same as the Western scientist belief in probability? Use of probability. Okay, so concept the generic but the probability labgire, right? So concept the palchewa dire or chikshin dire. Palchewa gatha gat nonsense tatuk kimara, you know, pena do you know dini palchewa me yura the draw samla tang gatha gathamba labtu kimara kangen sena gatha yatamba dini nonsense tokura the generic but the killing yura. So do you know palchewa the pet me yura so the yeah, so no, this would be different because when there's probability, it's like Buddhism would say there's a doubt, right? So if you see smoke, you say, oh, probably there's fire, right? But you're not certain. So this is a different sort of thing. That would be like a doubt, and then there's different types of doubt. Well, this is like saying, okay, if there's smoke, there's fire. If the Buddha says this, then that's the way it is. So it's not probability, it's certainty, right? It's not like probably something's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
다 대두 믿어 그래서 경쟁 가르쳐는 꼭 깨지게 요도 그래. 그 제발해서 경쟁 되다고 거의 인바데 야 타제네. 또 그거 타제마도 나는 참마디 깨도고 말아.
So yeah, this is like so it's like I mean doubt or uncertainty, right? Like so you say, okay, this book probably it's impermanent, probably it's changing, right? Because there can be like doubt tending towards the truth. So you think most likely it's impermanent, right? But that's not what we'd call a valid perception, because to be a valid perception, it has to be certain. So you go, okay, no, this book is impermanent because it's a product, you know, or because it's physical matter, therefore it's impermanent. This, if you can understand that logical reasoning, then you gain certainty, a valid cognition.
It's different than faith.
Yeah.
뉴질랜드 미나 와 미용으로서
Yeah.
김제가 뉴질랜드 미나 미용으로
Yeah.
차라다 디 차버렸다
Yeah.
야 차와도
So,
누구래
no, this is not faith because it's based on reasoning. So, like, it's like something simple would be if you're a person in New Zealand, you must be a person. Right? Because people in New Zealand have to be people.
저 메어도 가서는 미나 뉴질랜드 미용으로 배스나 다디 용어 말해 다디 저도 그 뉴질랜드 메어 당기 야를 찹성아 말을 참아서 어딘데 삼다
Yeah, but if you were to say, oh, if it's a person, it has to be a New Zealand person, well, then that's not the case, right? So that's not a valid statement. That's not a valid assertion or valid logic, because there's plenty of people who are people that aren't New Zealanders, right?
그 저민도 디베디 미베요레 아메리카 요레.
So you have Tibetans and Americans and so forth.
다 뉴질랜드 미인거래. 데 미마인게민도 타제기다 어디래야.
But if you're a New Zealander, you have to be a person, right?
뉴질랜드인게 퍼센트인게 요 말이다.
Yeah, because there's no New Zealand person who's not a person, right? Like that doesn't exist.
어딘데 좀 제도 거다.
So,
리버들라 좀 제도 다 망고셔. 다데로 디 셰제네 숨디 다 리버도 단데라 리버 시세다. 다데나 리버 시디 디다 게다 첨보래로.
So now we'll move on to looking at page 57, analysis grounded in the four principles.
어디에다 가서는 셰제 두단게 리버드 셰거래로.
So these are the ways of establishing something. Four ways things can be established.
베나 간데레에서는 당보들라 춘이지릭 봤어. 리버 당보도 춘이지릭 봤어.
Yep. So the first one is principle of nature.
춘이지릭 봤어야 가서는 메디 차버레도 왔어. 메란시 차버레도 왔어. 디 가래 수수요래 간데체래 간데 중어래 가르수요래 수수요래라나. 그러나 그 란시래 춘이도 중어래면서 디 지금 수요 제약에 뭐라 그러나라는 게 매차워 용야다 추장모 용야돼 그런 게 랑시래 춘이래서 요거다.
So the first one would be the principle of nature would be an example like fire is hot. So that's not something, that's just the nature of fire, right? You don't have to manufacture that. If you have fire, it's going to be hot. That's just the way it is. That's the nature of the entity fire. So that's the first principle.
다디네 춘이릭 봐체 리버직데 아니 찍래 자와체베릭 봐 자와체버스디 다 매기 자와 가르쳐거는 색과 부신 색과 자와치기도 하고 매 부신 색도 미밀 토에 제도도 미 부신 색과 제거도 매게 나궁 매워서도 도저 자와체 그 자와체베릭 봐래 그걸 자와디 젤레디 자와체베릭 봐.
So then in terms of the functionality, well, this would be for fire would be that it burns, right? So it can burn, like it can burn a human being, it can burn paper, it can burn down a forest. This is the function, this is one function of fire.
자와치면 되네다 태룹지를 봤어야 들어봐. 태룹지를 봤어야. 다 태룹지를 봤어야 돼 되래다. 네 미다고래. 미다고 이미 중재인데 그 제발이나 미다고 연구래로. 어디 태버를 봤어야 된다.
So then the principle of dependence is saying like this book is impermanent because it's a product, and everything that's a product that's produced is therefore impermanent, and so this is the principle of dependence.
태룹지를 봐. 다 태룹지를 볼래야 돼 가르스나 링고연의 통동용거래로. 야고연의 독자할 때는 야고들 찍을 샤도 메시지.
Oh no.
들어봐.
Okay, so then the principle of evidence, the fourth one is disumbero. Sorry, the disumbero.
The 태룹지를 봐서 숨바시 태룹지 시발을 샤랑이야.
So the ringball at any
통동데 태룹을 찍을 때는 들어와.
So the shipero.
시발 태룹을 봐.
Yeah, so then the fourth one, the principle evidence would be things like, well, to have something long, it's dependent on having something short, right? So this is
evidence나 갈라고. physics 주나 그래. 맞추 줄나 그래. 줄다 evidence나.
Evidence? I don't know, that's how it's translated here.
Physics.
It's drinking the Shiba, the principle of evidence. Evidence is like I did Tamadi Tedrup.
Tedrup, Chesan Tedrup Mare, you do Tedrup Sumbola Lapsama, they take the cost and get Tedrup the Tedrup on a Jurson. Take care of Nona North Lapshan.
Okay, we'll start this again. So, the conduct the
Yangela. Tango de Chuniri Guardian. Did the Chuniri Guard. Chuniri was at the Mela Taveranshi with the Chunichi. That Chawachiri was at the Karelasana, Mela Taveranshi, Tigberanshi, Tigyada, Segada, and the Euro to the Chawaja, Mokarina, Koran, Chavari, Lega, your rest. That Tedujiri was at the Latine, and a Chilic, Jumzin Telatine, the Taver, Junzi Telatine, the Tavares, Tedujiri was at it. Junzi Chava imagines in Midawa Youngers. That Tedujiri was at the
they've translated as evidence here, but yeah, it's difficult.
It's evidence that Tana did somebody Yajusan. She was somebody she will use.
No, okay. So the principle of dependence is based on the
dependence.
Well, they've translated it differently here. The Tedrup the evidence, right? Tedrup the dependence.
Well, number 4 says the reason they are reliant in that way.
Yeah, I mean.
얘도 반면 춘이지 있으러 춘이지 시당 툰배 저강체 같이 당고디 춘이지 차단 차진단 저와치월도 저와치베리 거지 차진은对베리 거지 그리고 대숨 시셔를 되네 디임바 디임에 디임을 되는 거지는 태도지를 봐 되나라 다가라래 더 시바다는 저는 테마 시작도나 다가라래.
Yeah, it explains it clearly here. It's just the thing of the trance. This dependence and this evidence is tricky translations. But we're going to go with what's in the book here because I haven't actually looked up anything different. So anyway, as we said, that the principle of evidence is that in order to have something long, you have to have something short, and so forth, right? Since this exists, then this must be this way, as it says here. And then I'll just read this out. At the bottom when it says here, which explains them. Therefore, the 4 principles of reasoning rely on the mode of being of things based on the individual nature, essence of a thing, any function supported by the natural essence, how one thing depends on other things in reliance on that function, and 4, the reason why they are reliant in this way. The principle of reasoning will elaborate in the context of explaining how the mind discerns objects. Okay, Russell.
No, 된다. 세상 다 디셰위오래. 다 단다 디르와. 낭베게 따오 딘중 세직시기도. 따오 딘중 세시기도라. 다 디디네 용거. 세룹지리과 뜨룹지리과 니들라데네. 저와 딜라데네 뜨뜨버 총어래 딜라데네 디테버래 야고요는 두자용거 두자에는 야고요래서 태워 들어왔지. 군이 다디 따오 딘중게 리바임바데 태룹지리과다 뜨룹지리과 니게 아니 딘중게 낭바산제와 쳐 이제 딘중 켈렌치거든. 어디 켈다 디네 딜라데네 두버레스와.
So the Buddhist view of dependent arising is based on this principle of dependence and the principle of evidence, right? So things like it's this because it's this, right? Or it's good, there exists good because bad exists. These 2 types of reasoning, so it's impermanent because it's a product, and good, it's good because of something else being bad. This type of understanding is what's the basis for this view of dependent origination.
Judilla, Jugawa Chevala, and David Tiki Yonata, Jumigawa Chela, David Dunga Chunga, the Sama, Tendu Chiglajik Tene Chungore, Chiglajik Teva de Chungore, Tedu the Dudu Niga, the Shijikana Doyong or Jumzenero.
So when we understand the nature of phenomena as well, it's based on this reason. Also understanding the law of cause and effect, like from virtuous causes come virtuous result, from non-virtuous causes come non-virtuous results. So these types of understanding, the so this is both. This understanding is both, comes from the principle of dependence and the principle of evidence.
So
there, also the understanding of comes about if it's not this, therefore it can't be that, or if it's not this, therefore it must be that. This kind of understanding can also come about. Like, deductive reasoning, the Tedrip but the deductive reasoning door. D mayana D mayan bakab.
Does anybody else notice that in the book it says the law of causality and dependent represent principle of dependence and the principle of function, not the principle of evidence?
Then he like Gudre the Debnangla on page 58. The law of causality and the system of dependent origination represent out of the four principles. So the Sigjema, right? The Gudre the principle of dependence and the principle of function. Tedrib Gurikpa Tang Cheperikpa the Ni Nanglare, the Tedrib Gurikpa Nanglamare.
Dogore. Dochogro, Joyamare. Kumayis Shamada dinner, Mayis Limer, Tishi Sharmishra. Tedubirik Begi, Tishinala, Legend Shire, Legend Tudu Rigomna, Do Mares Lamendodin.
Okay. So what it's saying here, and there's no fault, it is still in there. It's saying like these are examples of these things. It's not saying that, well, because it's in the principle of dependence and principle of function, therefore it's not in the principle of evidence. There's no statement like that. It's like an example of the principle of function, the principle of evidence.
Oh, dear, Junde and Tenjung Tsuni, Sanjay, in this loader. The water shakes, Rigbashinane, and the Chawache Rigbani, Ting to us, Junde and Tenjung to any Sanjay Lushini. To this shake your Junde and Tenjung ni Tudup, and it's 2 dealers, Nanga Sanjiveta, Judan Trebut and Tenjung Tudu, that's all Dilla, Tuxa Dilla shake your. Nazo Tubereva Tanda Bena, Yagola unit to Jayon, Judan Trebus and Julian Latin and Trebation Arvaco.
Yeah, so no, there's no fault. Definitely this principle of, this cause and effect and dependent origination, this view definitely is in the principle of evidence, because if this virtuous cause exists, then this virtuous result will come. That's the kind of principle of understanding in the law of cause and effect.
But we label the dependent principle of function. We label things on the principle of function.
Okay, is that so? No. Okay, so Nanza di Chepel Teni, function Latini Nanza Tagre or Dire. So did so di Dire.
And this?
Is there a question there, or is it?
No, I'm just saying that's why I'm saying that you're making a case for evidence, but I'm making a case for function because.
Yeah, but we're not saying it's not function. Anyway. So the Nipa di Chepirik, but did Sawore. The kinds and the Chepa did Sawore.
Tudurik what's
No, Todugirik.
Teduriva.
Man, the Nipa di Chris. The
Chawachiverigua.
Yeah, did
이거도 저저로.
so
이거 참고 저래. 참고
so
개념을.
they're all equally important, right? It's not to say one's more important than the other.
참고 개념을. 베나 리더이나 추디 장물에샤. 추디 장물에샤. 데 김제 갈려서는 데 김제 거야 해요 말. 그러나 춘이도 중얼에서 데 리버디 저두고도 하고.
So you know, yeah, like water being cold. Well, that's not based on, and that's just the nature of water, right? Like it's cold.
데 수수에.
Yeah, so there's no reasoning around that. Yeah. That's but then if you ask, then when you ask, well, why or how does that come about? Well, then the other principles of evidence and dependence can come into play then, right? So they're all connected. It's not to say that one that they exist independent.
Actually says that these two dependence and function are accorded crucial importance.
So did tamboda niba sore di devnangla di kechin chishore. If you want them to, if they're more important, they're more important. So not everybody said it was less important.
Yeah.
The evidence, because before the example of principle of evidence, for instance, there is this long, then there is short, right?
Yeah.
And if the principle of functionality, then you say fire, because fire so can burn. But if you use non-virtual causes suffering, the result of suffering,
Right.
virtual cause the result of happiness.
Yeah.
So this is the principle of functionality or evidence?
So when we're looking at whether something's long or short, this was said to be the principle of evidence. But when we look at virtuous karma bringing virtuous result, is this the principle of evidence or the principle of function? So kerang di rainbow yena tongwa gogirero di touchable
태줍
touchable
차도 차진수
yeah you know
교양
the le gidele tene gewele dewa debu yongirero di touchable pare or di chepere or di kare di kande hoku
le da dila samda yarshida 교양이야 뭐래 le gewel chene debu 등에 용거 요거디 자와지베리 그래서
right
le gewel chene debu 대화 용거디 자와지베리
right
달래 debu 요거디 debu 대화 용거디 가를 때네 중원에서는 le gewel chene 때는야 그 김제 야는 야 뚜루블레 도고라
okay
태두블레 도고라 시지간나 체주 숨가 러셔 그래
So when you look at it in terms of karma, the fact that virtuous causes bring a result of happiness, that's actually in terms of the principle of function. But when you look at the reasoning for that, the reasoning why, like when you think about the reasoning behind it, then that becomes the principle of evidence. So there's no fault to say it's not that's because it's one, it's not the other, right? It's how, yeah, there's no fault in that.
디나라 딜라고요. 자와체베 리바당 뚜두지 리바니기 닝드인데 카르레스라고 하면서 리바 시나네 자와체베 리바당 뚜두 리바 개체슈리라고요 말다디 콘서디 틱디 코요 말.
Okay.
다 인지질을 가르치기 막아서 베베질을 대래 리바 시난기 라다데 준데셰디 어디를 준데도 셰디 리바 시난기 되바당 자와체베 리바 니지 닝드스라도 아도 제가 리바 시나네 자와지베 리바다 뚜두그 리바 시기 닝드 군이 된다 저디 가르래는데 아니 준대다 딘중당 도스 셰용 거래라고 하면서 리바 시나네 콘서 개체셔레세 데데 근데 베베지나 라면도 인지승라 주의는 하고 마서
Okay, to understand. So I'm trying to find it here. Where was that thing when you said they were the most important?
준대셰스 되거든. 준대기 된데.
The law of causality and necessity. The reason of the principle of dependence. These two matters are accord crucial importance in the Buddhist tradition. It is the basis of causality and dependent origination, that the origin of everything is explained. So what Geshe is saying here is it's saying that it's like, yeah, it's important, but it's not to say that it's more important. Like it's crucial because based on this, then you come to understand the law of
예.
cause and effect, and you come to understand dependent arising. But just because it's saying it's vitally important, but it doesn't mean that it's somehow more important than some. Than the others.
나랑저 남바산제외에 아니 균제당 땡제도서 다 남바산제외 캐시슈 지기어와.
Right.
지기자 디리바 가르는 애저 대응 거르스 리바 시나게 뚜르지 리바다 차와체베 리바 니기나네 균제당 땡중도서 대응 거인자 아니 디 튼다님부로 데레스 디라베 거르면지 리바 시나게 아니 캐시슈 데레스 디나라면도
Okay,
그런
it's
고단 넣어.
saying from a Buddhist perspective because there's such high value placed, or I'm sorry, cause and effect and dependent origin is such a vital part of it, and these are said to come about or come to be concept
군이 된다데.
concept
뚜두지리보다 자와치베리고니기 된다데 가래열라나 균대지 땐중다 뚜두지.
Okay, so when we look at the meaning of the nature and the meaning of the function, that you can find the meaning of the law of cause and effect and the meaning of dependent arising in there. So this is why it's said to be like vitally important, but it's not to say that necessarily it's most important or more important than the other two.
정말 이거 시가도 계속 못 되냐래.
Right, because all of the four are important depending on the you can't say one's not important or one doesn't matter.
네, question.
Can you repeat again? If we use the cause that virtue have the result of virtue, and conduct the karma of non-virtue, then there is a result of virtue. So you mentioned this can use our principle and evidence and principle and functionality. So in what way, can you repeat again, in what way you will consider the functionality, in what way
So,
the evidence?
when we're talking about the four principles relating to virtuous causes bring happy results and non-virtuous causes bring suffering results, how is it represented? You said that it's in all four, so how is it represented? So, dewa drebu kigire na di rikpashi sangma di nang la yore ro pena di
요래.
so di kanyang penang la kandi hako gudu di shinang la so di
빼난.
di pena di tobegire ka kandire chepegire ka kandire legyu dim gewe gyu dewa drebu di kandi di shinang la kandi
दूसरे पेना दूसरे सामदांगा से 들어와다 पेना दूसरा ले 개워체나 삼바 상보체나 아니 기후 용거래스라라 삼바 상보체는 기후 용어데 수수를 라비나 디 수직 소녀야 말에 코나란 시리 코나 춘일이에서 디 춘일이 보도선데 삼바 상보체는 기후 용어데 좀 된데 소요래 고르 소요래 수수 디 요말에 삼바 상보 코나 그 란신기 기후디 디기디 총어래스 디기디 용어데 코그 삼바 상보요나 디기 용어데 코나게 춘이기 도게 중어래면서 디수직이 고르라고 저기 소요직 진이게 요 말해서와 디직이로 와다 디 춘이 자서나 다 삼바상고요나 대화용고요 다 자와 가르치는 삼바상고요를 때네 수수들 디기 용 삼바상고게 자와도 가르치거든 삼방연바디 매우 차도 그래라 삼방연바디 매우 차도 그래 디기 삼방연바디 매우 소요도고도 그 자와치기도 하고 자와 가르치고 그래서는 삼바상고요도 삼바두자디 매우 소요도고다 개와디로 딜라 자와치베리고 차서나
So relating to the first two, so the fact that a virtuous cause, like a good-hearted motivation, a good heart, right? Like simple sangha or a positive attitude or something like that. This brings about a happiness result in the future, right? This cause brings a happy result in the future. So this is not something that anybody made. This is just the nature of that positive motivation brings a positive result. That's just its nature. It wasn't made by God. It wasn't made by Buddha. It's just that's the nature of positive actions. They bring positive results. It's not manufactured. And then when we look at the function of it, well, the function of a positive attitude is or a positive cause is to remove non-virtuous causes and so forth. So this is it in terms of its function, like what it actually does.
다 삼바 상보 요야들 때네 삼바 상보 써야 돼 삼바 상보라 다 데부 디지 총화돼 데부 디지 총화돼다 삼바 상보니디 찍을 때네 찍을 봐주 되어라다 간다
Okay.
이거서
Right. So this, what they translate, so the principle of dependence, so the third one, is that this positive motivation or this positive cause is dependent, will produce a positive result, a happiness result. Now those two are mutually dependent on each other, right? So this positive result is dependent on this positive cause, and this positive cause is going to produce this positive result. So that's the third principle. That's that dependence they have.
다 단다 가르 주서 테루 주잖아 테루 말 두두라
Tudu,
다 테루라
right.
다 테루데 가르서나 유유나 삼바 상보체나 디지 용어데 테버렸다 삼바 좋아 디유나 디충로와 디유나 디충 디제베 디제세거다 디마이나 디미용고래 디유나 디요고래슬라고다 그래서 삼바 상보 유나 디지 용고요래 삼바 상보 메나 디지 용고요 말해 어디냐.
So then the fourth principle, the principle of evidence, is saying that if this exists, this must exist, or this must come, right? Or if this doesn't exist, then this won't come about. So in this case, it would be like, well, if there's a positive action or positive motivation, intention, then the result of happiness will come in the future. And if there's no positive result, positive intention, then there's no positive result in the future. So this is this fourth principle of evidence.
하디데 간도 뭐부 탐제를 자야요서래로 탐제를 뭐부 탐제를 자야요서래 상말을 레레레 상말.
Yeah, and we can break down all phenomena in this way, right? Like these four are present in all phenomena, right? You can depending
on. Just listening, teaching. That's good. No. Just leave there. He is listening, good teaching.
as long as he doesn't crap on me, I don't mind.
He is first listening Buddhist sound is birds. we have listening birds and Buddhist sound is listening. Oh, he is good listening now. 어디에 다디 뚜둑당 태둑디 데제 제도니 소리도 알아.
Okay, so this principle of dependence and principle of evidence are kind of connected.
Yeah,
so they're kind of, we find sort of interweaves with the other, I guess.
디레다 베나 뜨발라야딜라 디세오여레 뜨발라야디 여버시나 차단 차진 링보당 통무세야지도 디 뜨버라고 링보여나 통무여 통무여나 링보여.
So this evidence, the simple way to say it would be, short is comes about is evident. No, I'm just trying to put it in English. Short is evident because of long, I guess would be the way to put it. Short comes about because long exists, right?
어디 둑당고 rimbashedange tablam로 지리 로다디 디준도 수수 삼로로 땅데나 아니 디다여라.
Yeah, so this is how things are established, right, or how they function. So if you think about it in this way, then
남바산제에 최 둑당게 릭버로디 지난 릭버망고여 단데 릭버 시샤거도 아니 릭버니 릭바타 릭버지야
yeah, there's many of these principles you could put down. So they put 4 here, but you can have 2, or you can have, different enumerations.
Oh yeah, 다음도 수진기 다들이 다 수급단도 시.
Come and check the page. I lost the page. Is
수진고 자단 뒤지 튼튼들다.
I need to find it in English. Yeah. My little sticky thing came out. It's page 87.
다음도 속도단 쉐레 속도단 쉐 속도단 게나단데라 아니 쉐제 도단 무숨게 신야 용도게 신야 딸데네 신 신행 리버데라야 리과 시세 조르다 가신야게 소주 오버데 가래라데다 소주 오버 친이 쉐고다 속도 속 참에 사과라고도 차제에서네라고도 그래 쉐르 간소야게 속디 다나 속 란치 가래 속 친이 가래 따라 되어리다 속 친이 쉐고르들
So now we're going to look at the essential nature of physical entities, or the definition. Essentially, so we've looked at how physical things are established in terms of the actual physical structure, and then in terms of how we understand things, like either directly or inferentially or through reliance, like of a very hidden phenomena. And then we looked at the four principles of the way things can be understood. So now we're going to actually look at what the physical entity is in terms of its like meaning and definition and so forth.
That thingy did it. So thingy,
So the definitions right here, that which is suitable to be a form, is it in here? Zugsurunga code.
The Dagrando, Subjin, Ravachana, Mochavan, Susruma, Shichavane, Penaluvenda.
Oh, here we go.
What
Coarse material phenomena must be defined in terms of character of obstructive resistance. That's slightly different to suitable to be a form, but anyway.
Susruma, Slava to Dylan.
Capable of materiality, that might be it. That might be it. I think that's on the next page.
Dagrando.
Capable of materiality. Sugsurungwa. Capable of materiality. Yeah, that's an unusual translation, but yeah, I think that's what that it is.
Susruma, Slavda, de la Kung shed, Levant out of Umajugul, soon as Susruma, Tini James Slavda. Soon as Suru Tini James. Susruma, Shichavetine, Lobu Nigi Zerang de la Esra. Susruma, Shichawa, never Charuma, Shichawa, Tazik de Sama. Susruma says what and never Charuma say, and Chevres Lanta.
Okay. So yeah, here in general, how when the essential nature of unique attributes of physical entities is explained in various books, there's the term that which is capable of materiality. Literally, that which is suitable to be form, as the more literal translation is mentioned in Chandrakirti's Interest in the Middle Way. For example, one reads, "Form possesses the characteristic of capable of materiality." The meaning of capable of materiality is also explained by Vasubandhu in his Treasury of Knowledge auto commentary. What is called capable arisen flower petal, the mere touch of the hand affects the new flower petal, and the sight touched withers and darkens. Damaged in this context means to induce change, and this is explained in the auto commentary. What harms a physical entity? That which produces total change.
어디다 숙수루와스 디펜나간조 메도 디펜나나 레세오다 메도로마 라고둑스차나 아니 메도로마디 나포니도 차로다 코나라 락베게 디파 수보라 되나 수 제장 콜라 네제로라다 어디 셰르다.
So as it said here, you know, this harming here means that, you know, if you take a flower petal, you can rub it and it becomes dark. Damage, sorry, not harm, damage. So this is what's meant by this capacity for damage.
지난한다 더 인지티로 컨디션은 페베틱라 수수 롱안 라야 돼. 양 고주요래. 롱안 라야 돼. 숙바사나 디 수바더라. 숙수 롱안 라야 돼. 딜라 그 수고 마이나 콜라 숙초그레스니 소리지 고고요래 돼. 책디 데스 고지 첨부하래. 숙수 롱안 라야 돼.
Okay.
다 디베드지 디 디펜도 그래. 인지티로 줘야 이나면 하고 마서라. 숙불람나 디추나 라고데 수보레라 수스로나 라디 메돌라 라고데 파 수구 마르데레 이네 지그너지 제나 고 네가 지야지 요레스니 저 고용 거라 하셔서 이는 숙 유젤라 디노가 치두고요 말아 숙 타모도 zel라 그래서 네가 치두고요 말아 이는 걸로 뭐가 치루마레스니 수스로나 라디 고기 첨부해야 돼.
So this surungwa, which is capable of or suitable to be, is very important here. The meaning in Tibetan is like, you know, form we can say is water or a cup or something like that, but this capable to be form means capable of materiality or suitable to be formed means that it has this capacity to be damaged or harmed, damaged as it's translated here. So this becomes important, right? Because when these very subtle particles, well, they're said to be formed, but they're not capable of being damaged. So, yeah. Anyway, this capacity for damage is what's meant by the suitability to be formed or capability of being something.
다들 내제당 내제 숨다로와 내제 숨다레스 내제 숨디 바까고 그래. 저나 소스로만 샤베이나 신이 소 신이라 소스로만 샤나 내제요레스. 내제들 견 숨다요레스와.
Okay. So then there becomes three objections to this definition of capable of materiality or suitable to be formed. Right? So these we'll go through these three objections.
다 당부도 가르치는 소스로에 되는 내가 잘하는데 뒤타람남 아니 소마인 버주레스 뒤타모 제왕도 뒤타모 들라 수진신기 콜라 내가 지야요 말레스. 제가 그 소루마인 버차도 그래. 그 소마인 버차도 그래.
So given that this capable of materiality means that it has this capacity to be damaged, or so this becomes a problem with this definition.
때 되는 렌 세우자다. 대 렌도 서로 뒤타를 찍고 내버려 내가 치면이 장선. 뒤타를 신 초보는 내가 처럼이지 렌제르서. 그러나 뒤타모 찍고 될라 속칭 내가 지도고야 말아. 코주 초용도 아니 콜 내가 치고 인자 아니 콜 내가 치로 와서다. 디 잘해서.
So
렌잡다.
the answer is here. The text responds by saying that whereas a subtle particle that resides in isolation cannot be damaged, it is capable of being harmed when combined with other subtle particles. So as it said, like individually, yes, on its own, in isolation, it's not capable of being harmed. But when it comes into a collection, then it has the capacity to be damaged or harmed.
다 니와들라 가르서나 아니 대베 속다 마음베 속도 수마인 버차도 그래서 가르서나 그 수진신이 내가 차요 말아 와서 랍도 닝조 랍도 돼.
So then the second objection is, in this case, according to you, material things of the past and future cannot be material entities because they are not capable of being damaged by other material phenomena.
다 렌데 세부도 대 베나 렌데 대 마음고 수 니장 수요. 대 마음베 수도 수요래. 수요자 요가 교바단 다대 수단 릭tum바. 다대 수단 다워 인자 아니 콜 내가 차롱을 해서 그랬다.
Okay. So in response to this, the text states that for both past and future material forms, since one has already existed in the past as a material entity and the other will exist in the future as a material entity, and furthermore both are similar in type and present material form, they can be posited as material phenomena as well. For example, some trees in a forest are firewood. The entire forest may be labeled firewood because some trees. Yeah, so it's clear in there. Is that clear? So then the third objection is a little bit more difficult. Okay, so this non-indicative form. Okay, so this is said, well, this isn't formed because it's not suitable to be formed, or it can't be harmed, damaged, so it can't be damaged. So then first we have to look at what is this non-indicative form. Yep. Right.
Talk about the jail. Toja begins the Kosaka, the Kosa Shinda de Tugmando. Chesan Tokje, me to pass the top of the jet. Michelle attended your talk about the jail, Dininga Chazon, Cheju Nisan, the
so form that is the base, 10.
Mil attended you, Mil Toy.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking how to translate it. Yeah, I'll go with the basis. So form that is the basis, and so there's three types of form you can be said. So form that is the basis and impedes, form that is the base and does not impede, and then this indicative form, right? Non-indicative form, sorry. So these are the three types of form. So the example of the first one, form that is the basis, and impedes would be like a cup. So it's a basis because it's a basis for perception of like the eye consciousness, for example. And it's said to impede because it blocks other material things. So basically two physical entities like this cup and this book can't exist in the same space. That's what's meant by this impedes. That you know, if this cup's here, you can't have the book in that same space because they block each other.
덕제시, 와. 다들 수니와도 가르스는 미기 통화요체 통화면죠. 배나 난다. 렘보도 그래. 렘보다. 니는 렘보라션다 다다.
Okay, so then form that is the basis but does not impede would be something like a rainbow. Because you can see it, but it doesn't actually impede materially. Like, you know, straight up.
That in somebody done the pigeonala the tombato the shire on the tombarva.
Right. So then the third one, this non-indicative form, like vows. Vows would be an example. And the body in a dream. Okay, just a dream in general. Yeah, so the body in a dream would be this non-indicative form because it's not the basis for a sensory perception like the eye consciousness, and it does not impede, yet it's said to be form.
Number reject so the number reject my embassy near
Okay, so vows you have an indicative form and non-indicative form.
Number reject so the tomba tango top dear on the Gelong tomba in a chanju simba tomba in a jamdo in a Kenya tomba in a tomba susu yago lenwa choka to the yago and tomba tango top dear. 아니 수수 미디 수분나라 돈바티 요와 하고 그걸 돈바토 뭘 돈바 톱샤세 팅뭐 당보라 쭉 당보들 깨지 당보들 깨지 니만에 어디 통해 매우 차도 그래 딜라 넘버 리제 많이 배수 당보들 넘버 리제에서 당보미가 통성아 당보 미디 수분나라 돈바토와 미 통그래 됐시고 입다고 미디 누가 남지 유도야라고 당 지금 용 거래.
Okay, right. So
베나딘데 용 거라는 거 미디를 콘드사이나 미디 콘트사이즈 통도하면서 이게 넘버를 지수래. 어디래?
So vows are actually said to be both this non-indicative form and this indicative form because they're both perceivable by the sense perceptions in the first moments, and then after that, not. So in the first moment would be said to be when you receive the bodhisattva vow, the monk's vows, the bodhisattva vows, the lay vows, whatever it might be. That first moment where the person recognizes they have these vows, accepts that they have those vows. At that moment it's indicative form because it can be perceived by the eye consciousness. Then the next moment it becomes non-indicative form because it's no longer perceivable. So the perception will be something like if somebody's angry, then it has a physical change in their appearance, right? So you know the condo
lug namjulang condo yo mi 통다.
Okay.
입지 통고요. 미디 condo sai 미디
so
나 condo 사기도 라고 말해. condo 사가 통다.
Right. So you can see with your eyes, oh, that person's angry, like because of the change in their physical appearance.
대나시 장주가 셈다 닝제단 된데 요이네 수국 남주를 때네 디 통해 디 넘버를 지고 속서 넘버를
Okay, so when
그 넘버 디렉버쳐 통하셔서
So when you can see this person first gets these vows, there's a change in their appearance that can be perceived by the sense perceptions.
다데데다워제 디나라 넘버를 지고 속다 넘버를 지면서 돈바 깨지 당보디 넘버를 지고 속라. 돈바 깨지 니바디 넘버를 지면 배속라. 다고 갈라서나 넘버 제마이 베수디 수마이 베조레 넘버 제마 수라 뇌야요 마레 코 통하요 마 타요 마레 뇌메 주도레스 랍다 딜랍디 딜레껴요 마레스 디 리지기 수요라 네 뇌위 인상 당보 돈바 딜레 뇌나 아니 니와 돈바 딜레 뇌도 그랬다 귤레네 데빌 뇌도시
건디
규규
당보
당보디 리지기 수라
right
계지 당보 넘버 제마서 코 데빌라 귤레네나 데빌 뇌 따딜라나 야고도
okay
Kitila never do devil never do race or Deans and Joy Mores, they talk that.
So then the question comes about, given your definition of non-indicative form would not qualify as physical form because it cannot be harmed by other material phenomena. So this is, said that the because these vows, for example, oh, sorry, I'll read the answer. The text responds that non-indicative form is characterized as material form since it is supported by indicative form and itself exists as material form. That itself exists as material form. Analogy: when a tree moves, the shadow also moves. So basically, what's said here is that these vowels, essentially, even though they're non-indicative forms, so they don't can't be perceived by the senses and don't impede, they can be harmed because when you harm the cause, then the effect gets damaged as well, right? So when the
you're saying that this non-revelatory form doesn't impede.
Yeah.
But surely taking vows obstructs non-virtue, like taking a vow would impede or obstruct.
Okay, this is a translation thing of impede,
so,
but
like saying I'm not going to kill obstructs not.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that the Tibetan word for okay, fine, but it's a translation issue. So the Domba di Tokchegi Marero. Right. The Migawa Tokchegi. The love So the Tokchegi can send a Migawa Tokchegi.
Re, those 2 years. Domba Sugi, but those 2 years. Miguel Sumares, Miguel. Tonga Surela. Miguel de Sumare. Miguel de Ginger. Tonga Sajura, Tonga da Digba Sajda, Tonga de Surela. Tonga Suinja, Tonga. And then the Tonga Zadung, Zabe Tonga, Zadung, Tonga. Tonga was. Don't have more than it, touch as much as the jailer, jail ninja. They don't surrelare. Don't so in some don't the Karikawek and Jerison, Tomba the Gave in some Kologjo, the Suinza, and the Tomba Sucharis, the Riba Chirama, Tomba Suin, but two story.
Okay, this is going to
Chirama Yara.
Yep.
Tomba Suin, Jumzen Kalasana, the Miguel Suri Lagayomare. Penanzo Soja, the Gumago Dizo.
Right.
The Tonga said the Penasanja Jumde de Jabazera, Tajan Tawachena, Soji Gomare, Kenya Dombalena, Soji Gomare Lara.
Okay.
Java than gave it la Tonga Sora. Sanja Jumde de Ticho Marilavdi. Tambos, this was Ranche, Nga Sanja Jumde de Jinju Chiki, and Nada, Golong Dombalingi, Chanjusimbe Dombalingi, Ngala Dombanaro cheese, Yasusu, Shura, Shunanama Dombanta, Tajana Dicho Mari, Dicho Maladi. Java Sanjeji Kadan gave it la Tonga Sora. Tigola de Pena on the Sojevina, Mitangmala Yore, Pena, Injimiji Sanje Jumde de Gad Yingo Amare, number Yin, the number Mayin, but Kidan Pajuk, the Tangmalogi, Sojevina, Tangmala Digbayore. In a Tangmala Tonga Yomare, Killa Tonga Yomare, me number non-religion Chinese to the Tonga Yomare, Manzula Yor Tonga, Manzula Gavashana, Kipsan Chimboyore, Miguashana, Chong Chimboyore. Tonga said, Sanjeji Kadan gave it la Tonga Sorda. Pero,
Tonga, in accordance. Okay. So, where the reason that the
Miguel de Sumarelo,
so the Great Exposition School states that vows have form for this reason. They say that non-virtuous actions, non-virtue, not actions, non-virtue is not form. However, a commitment or like a pledge in accordance with the Buddha's advice, this has form. This is said to have form because, so for example, the not killing doesn't have form. Like right now, everybody's not everybody, but majority of beings are not killing all the time, right? Like this bird's not killing.
Birds killing, bugs killing.
No. Right now, this bird's not killing.
Eating.
I don't know. Okay, there's beings who aren't killing at the moment, right? But they don't have this vow or this commitment, right? In accordance with the Buddhist teaching, because they don't have that capacity. Only human beings, or sorry, not only, but human beings have this capacity, right? And that's why when you take this commitment or this pledge in accordance with the Buddhist teachings, then that takes on the aspect Didzugyin. Yeah, this commitment.
You can say Tonga.
This no, it's like commitment. It's like pledge. It's this pledge. This pledge in accordance with the words of the Buddha. This has form. So this is their reasoning.
Yeah, they do it. They don't sugi in, but they do kaku. They don't generally mango yore. Ko good so don't be good yore. Ila tene ne doing that. Ko jungju ki sure se. Oden de la go good.
So this pledge.
Domba.
Yeah, this pledge that's in accordance with the Buddha's teachings is established on the basis of these four elements, and that's why it's said to be form. There's a lot of reasoning behind all of this. There's a lot, they go into it in detail, but this is the basis of it.
Oh yeah, that they shall.
Okay, so we'll stop here.
Tunda jema ngazo dina dona. Did Dilhama the Jamazic door, the wall at Tanda and the Tunda Chendachi or Sugutunda Dijik, and the Suso Tanga or Sugiji. Sugiji. Sugiji, Tunda Jema Sugiji Savlosh and the deserta.
The kitchen
and Sugiji Tangbut.
Oh, okay. So next week we're going to finish off this chapter on this nature of physical entities, and then in the 5 sense objects we'll go over the first one, the form sense object. And that'll do us. So you get a break from meditating this week.
You're busy. And Sani,
we're pretty busy this week.
Sani, I watch on to do Sani Chamba in the show to the Lingram pay around the big yell so much.
Alright, so tomorrow is pretty awesome because Lingram is coming. We're very fortunate.
The material, usually there's 16 the material we. The Jurudumada.
The Jamba the
Chamba in the show.
Oh, okay. So on the 16th day, try it.
Temba de la. Juzi Chamba Combe Temba la tended to be a chedu. Juzi Chamba Combo, Chava Sani, Sava Chudula, Lingola, those corridor, and some Melam Jab Chigore, Sani.
Oh, okay. So
combatant in Chigore.
So this on the 15 days is this like the Sangi Chamde de Tindu.
Sanjay Jumde de Tembache, Sani Chudu, the Juzi Chambe Temba Yam.
So the 15 days represents this time of the Buddhas that is focused on the Buddha's teaching. Then the 16th day is said to be the time of Maitreya, or the representing Maitreya's time of teaching. So this time it's auspicious. People do a lot of kora and make a lot of prayers and things like that.
They bring Maitreya's statue at Sarah Monastery there in second emulation.
Oh, is that the day they
morning? Tomorrow morning. Maitreya's statue. And then we do lots of offering, do prayer, we making connecting materials, Buddhist teaching. That's good. Tomorrow, Lingam machine coming. It's good. Very good coexistent. Coexistent.
Coexistent. I know what he's trying to say. I know what he's trying to say. Yeah, don't worry, my Tibetans like that. So
coexistent. You did in the
coexistent. Yeah, it's kind of coincidence.
Deja.
Page 51.
Shoot on the Deja. Lera Lenshi Ninde Jemba